Assalamu alaikum viewers, I am Farrukh Nadeem. Today, Aspire brings you another new tutorial, and as you know, we started a series on rotary, so this is another new tutorial in that series. In today's tutorial, we're going to cover something very important. Whenever we take any raw material and start working on it with the rotary, the very first thing we need is to make that material normal or raw. If we, to a very great extent, truly reaching up to the precisely required level, specifically up to the very first critical edge, if we meticulously do it in this particular manner, ensuring we achieve the absolutely required standard, extending all the way up to the definitive edge, consistently maintaining the required level, and reaching the ultimate boundary or edge, let's start with a new file. Here I have taken a new file with a length of 12 inches and a diameter of 5 inches. Here you have already set up the rotary slate and the rest of the settings. Once you click OK, these two lines that appear by default in the rotary will become active here. After that, in the gadget section, we have the option for wrapping. In wrapping, we have, when you select this, you'll see that we have two main options here in the rounding toolpath. The first option is blank size and shape, where you set the size of the square blank. That means we have to work on a square blank. So what will the square blank be? I set its size to 5.25, just a little extra so we get good tooling. After that, the second option we have is the diameter of the round blank. That was the square blank, and this is the diameter. If it's a round blank, you can also set its size as you like. I want to work on this one first, while the size of our job is 5. So after clicking on this, if I make the blank a little bit, if it's a blank, you can set its size as you wish. I'll work on this one first. Your square blank is 5.25, while our job is 5. After clicking this, I'll tell you more about the features. First, there are two options. You can choose this or that, meaning it will be a square blank. A blank is the raw material you mount on the machine. When you have to do turning, how much allowance do you want to leave on it? If you want to leave some allowance first so that whatever further work you do is done on top of that, or if you want to do roughing and then use the finishing tool later, you can adjust those settings here as well. So here we look at the machining method. We have two options above, and for both of them, there are machining options available below. So in the machining method, we have raster along cylinder, and third, we have optimized raster along cylinder, first square blank only. So this third option is only used for square blanks, which we have selected here. For this task, you won't use the first two options. Those two options are for diameter round blanks. The third option is for square blanks. Basically, from the preview here, you can get an idea that it handles the corners separately. It will cut down the corners, and then with the raster toolpath, it will round out the entire shape. So we usually use this for roughing. Here, after selecting this option, I select the tool. The tool I used here is an 8mm tool. It will cut down the corners, and then with the raster toolpath, it will round out the entire shape. So we usually use this for roughing. Here, after selecting this option, I select the tool. The tool I used here is an 8mm tool. If you want to use a 6mm tool, you can use that as well. As for chip load and such, I'm not really paying attention to that here. For chip load, you've already listened to Aspire's Lecture 31, you've read it, and you understand it. If you need more information about it, for chip load, you've already listened to Aspire's Lecture 31, you've read it, and you understand it. If you need more information about it, you should watch Lecture 31 again, the one number 31. All the information about it is explained there. So here, I'm using an end mill. I select a 6mm tool. Look here, this is a 6mm rounding tool. If you look at it in 3D view, it has generated a preview of the toolpath here. Take a look. If you look at it in 3D view, it has generated a preview of the toolpath here. First, it cut this area, then it cut here, and after that, it cut the whole thing. But when it cut here, it did it the same way. First cutting all 4 corners, and then, in 2 steps, it completed the size on top. Now, if I come here to the tool database, to the toolpath database, and take a look, you won't find that feature here because there's no animation. There's no simulation animation in this. It just simply moves forward like this. Also, you can't do editing here. But if you want to edit it, it's not a big deal. Suppose I delete it from here. I just deleted it. Now, if you go back to 2D, come to the 2D view, select this position again, then go to Gadgets, then to Wrapping, and here you can go to Rounding. As soon as you turn on the toolpath, the same information I'm bringing here, where it says end mill instead of end mill 6, I'm putting in an end mill 12, a half-inch end mill, so that the roughing process goes faster. So I've selected a 12 millimeter end mill. You can set it in metric or in inches, whichever you prefer. Here we have end mills up to 200, and you can add more end mills if you want. So now, using a 12 millimeter end mill, I'll select it, and see, I haven't left any margin for its size here, meaning I haven't left any allowance, and I've set this size. Click OK. After clicking OK, as soon as you come into the tool database, you'll see a preview has been created here. If I look at it in 3D, you'll see it's already made a view here. So after resetting it, no margin or allowance for size here. I set this size. Click OK. After clicking OK, entering the tool database, a preview is created. In 3D, a view is made. Resetting and previewing again straightens it, then gives a round shape. To see the tool view, the toolpath. The one it just created, you'll have to select it. So viewers, this was a large square blank that we did the roughing on. If at this same spot I delete it in the toolpath, I delete it because I don't need it for now, then I'll come here to Gadgets, go to Wrapping, and when I select Create a Rounding Toolpath here, now I'll tell it, because as we just saw in the preview, we already have a round diameter created. This, the blank we're using, is round, so I'll set it to 125, giving it 100th overage. We have two options for this. I'll select Radial. In Radial, the tool will move around its circumference. The blank we're using is round, so I'll set it to 125, giving it 100th overage. We have two options for this. I'll select Radial. In Radial, the tool will create a toolpath around it and cut it, starting from one side and going around to the other, making a round path. Here, I used a 12 millimeter end mill for it. Click OK, and a toolpath is generated. If we come to 3D, you can see here. Look, I simply clicked on Preview here, and it gave this preview. That means it has now made it round, and the size you specified there, it has generated that diameter as well. Now, on top of that, I used a 12 millimeter end mill. Click OK, and a toolpath is generated. In 3D, you can see I simply clicked Preview, and it gave this preview. It's now rounded, and the specified size generated that diameter. The toolpath created on top came out round. Based on diameter and step over, the tool's diameter is the step over, so it creates a toolpath and cuts it. I'll delete this toolpath. Next, let's look at the next option. Go to 2D, then Gadgets, then Wrapping, then Create Rounding Toolpath. We'll use Raster along Cylinder. I use Diameter Round Blank, and for Raster, click OK. As soon as you click OK, another toolpath generated. In 3D view, the raster created a toolpath used for roughing. An end mill can smooth it. For 3D design, a ball nose is needed. Aspire provides these tools. Manually designing these calculations and toolpaths would be too tough to handle. Aspire provides these gadgets. If we had to manually design these calculations and toolpaths, it would be difficult. It hasn't shown us anything. It has its own plugin. This gadget generates toolpaths itself. If we had to do this work ourselves, then it would have been very difficult. In the same way, the three features we discussed today, I hope you understood these features and that they were helpful to you. If we talk about what comes next, you have to save the toolpath, and the process is exactly the same as what you used before. You need to use your required post-processor and then save the toolpath. After saving it, I can perform it on any machine. I hope this session proves to be extremely beneficial for you. Please remember me in your prayers. God willing, in the next lecture, I will return with a new technique. I can perform it on any machine. I hope this session proves to be extremely beneficial for you. Please remember me in your prayers. God willing, I will be back in the next lecture with a new technique. allow me to take my leave now. Allah Hafiz.